I'm a PhD student with the University of Groningen in the Netherlands, and I've been here for the last few years. I'm from Canada. I'm a Canadian professional engineer and had work experience in a startup, did my MBA in the Netherlands, and I'm now working here in the Center for Sustainable Entrepreneurship at Campus Friesland.
All right. And the MBM conference is, of course, about sustainable business model innovation, right? What is your take on sustainability and the SDGs?
And I think the question on what SDGs is that we're aiming for and how do we relate to that as well is a great one. It's a good communication tool for sure for businesses. So how do we link what we're doing in our business strategy, business model towards the sustainable development goals? Obviously, they're all interlinked. And in how I approach my research, I'm looking towards some different types of metrics or aims or goals beyond the SDGs. There have been some critiques towards them, and are they detailed enough, and are they necessarily aiming towards what we want? Also, sometimes they can be taken in isolation. So in my research, and I think in relation to the New Business Models Conference, it's come up a lot in discussion too in the conferences. Let's aim towards, for my work, towards flourishing goals, towards strong sustainability, and towards some quite advanced goals, looking beyond even the SDGs.
So could you tell me a little bit about, because the topic of this year's conference is, of course, new business models in a decade of action, sustainable, evidence-based, and impactful. But what does the evidence-based part mean to you and to your work?
Yeah, I think it can mean many things to a lot of people, of course, because it has unto itself many meanings. Because of the framing of 10 years of action, I think it's worthwhile. It's the 2020 to 2030 now that we're looking, and we know there needs to be a lot of action between then. So how I view evidence based on that, of course, many other things, and also what evidence do we know, especially from the environmental, also from the social perspective, on where we need to really try to be by 2030. So, for example, I think in last year's conference, there was a lot of talk on incremental sustainability movement is not enough. We need to be looking towards transformational. I think that's a good tie-in there towards evidence-based. We know from evidence that small steps isn't going to get us there fast enough. We need big transformation to achieve the environmental and social goals we're aiming for.
Yeah. How do you think that the NBM community can accelerate this practical implementation of the body of knowledge that it has generated already?
I think it's been exciting to see already. I've been to 2 NBM conferences, the last 2, and they're already focusing on many case studies, examples with companies. It's also an academic community, so it's not all about getting it directly to companies. So there's real theory development, which can help too. I think they're doing a lot. I think the one area which people seem to already be focusing on too is again linked to, are we going in the right way? So if we're trying to help companies, are we helping them towards, again, to use the concept, incremental sustainability versus transformational sustainability? Are we helping people towards what's really going to make the difference on environmental and social goals that we are aiming for?
What new business models do you think that we need in order to create the future that we want? What is the solution?
I certainly don't know. I think there's lots of exciting research into it. I refer a lot to the 2018 article where they're looking at the different patterns of business models and also looking at what are aimed towards weak sustainability compared to strong sustainability. For me, that's the biggest kind of guidance on it, that let's be aware of where we're aiming for. You said it well too. What are we kind of visioning for? What are we aiming for in the future? I think we'll need business models that are aimed towards these much more transformational, strong sustainability goals. And also let's reflect on, are we developing these business models in the right way?
And the last question, why do you think that people should attend this the 2021 conference?
So speaking from my own personal experience with the New Business Model Conference, I've gone to 2 now, and at the first one I went to is when I started talking to my now PhD supervisor. So that was a great networking opportunity, a great way to connect with people, and then led to what I'm doing for my PhD. Obviously, this year was a bit different with it being all virtual and all the changes that had to happen because of the global pandemic. I think it's an exciting community of people working together, collaborating, and really from that last conference, there's huge talk about the transformational change needed and very, very advanced thinking. It's very exciting work that they're doing.